Hi, this is Bill Pinus, and I'm very excited to have Dr. Michael Snyder. Dr. Snyder received his PhD training at California Institute of Technology, and he carried out his postdoctoral training at Stanford University. He's a leader in the field of functional genomics and proteomics, and he's also one of the major participants of the ENCODE project.
Today, should you do a whole body MRI? 100% of the time they'll tell you absolutely not. And do you know why?
It's funny you say that because we do a lot of work with Vitality and John Hancock, and a lot of it is this early detection testing. And we just started a program with Pronovo, which is a full body MRI scan to see what's going on in your body and all the other things in terms of your nervous system and bone densities, etc. So it is funny that you say that. Almost every doctor that I've mentioned this to, they'd be like, well, why would you do that?
Yeah, they don't want you to find the so-called incidental finding, the nodules. The thing is, everybody has them. I have 9. I've had 19 whole body MRIs over the last 8 years.
Wow.
I have 9 nodules. And if you ask me, should you do whole body MRI? Of course, I say yes. And the issue isn't do you have nodules? The issue is do you have any growing nodules? And the way you know that is through these longitudinal profiles. And so we think this is really, really important. And imagine if you were to get cancer. If you get cancer, they will treat it, and then they'll do a follow-up whole body MRI, or at least part of your body. And they will find those nodules. And what the problem is, if they do that and they see those nodules, they won't know if they were there to begin with or if your cancer metastasized. There's no way to know. So they'll have to treat them. And that's happened to a friend of mine. It was just, it was really unfortunate because he had a cancer on his spine. They operated, then they did the follow-up a month later and found 3 more nodules. And they had no idea, again, if they were there to begin with or if his cancer metastasized. So they actually had no choice but to, in that case, they irradiated them. And so, again, we think it's so important to know your baseline, whether it's imaging, all these other molecular measurements I've been mentioning. It's just very, very powerful information.
So, Doc, how and when should they start this baseline testing? What age and things of that sort?
Yeah, I think you want to know your baseline. Now, I don't think we know how often we really should be measuring people, right? We don't know. I myself get measured a ton. In a research study, we're measuring people every 3 months. But one could argue maybe every 6 months is enough. To some extent, it depends on what you're at risk for and what your trajectories look like. Meaning, if you start seeing things go off, get those things measured more often. Now, some tests are very, very easy. Wearing a smartwatch. I don't know if you're wearing one right now.
I sure am.
There you are. So they're measuring you 24/7. Super powerful. You may or may not know, we can tell you when you're getting COVID in advance of symptoms 80% of the time because your heart rate jumps up. And we have a whole detection test built around us. It's an alerting system. So these are powerful devices because they follow you 24/7. So in that case, it's continuous monitoring. We do metabolic profiling. I have a company that does that called Iolo. And they will basically, you do, I know what this sounds like, but it does work. You take little drops of blood from your shoulder, you mail it in, and we measure 600 metabolites. And that will give you a metabolomics profile that measures 20 wellness categories. Heart, oxidative stress, inflammation, kidney function, all these things are all these markers that can show you what's going on. They can even measure your biological age, and we can come back to that. But so the point is that one is very, very simple test, not that expensive, and so you can do it fairly frequently. And we could see shifts going off. And people who do that test, I'm sure you've done it yourself, when you get tested, you take action and you improve your markers. And in that case, 95% of people improve their markers after their first visit because they get very actionable information.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you like what you heard and you were inspired by it, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more. We'll see you next time.